You are watching All Things Real Estate and More with Ann-Riley Caldwell. With a brand new episode on what makes different title companies different.
Hey, I'm Ann-Riley Caldwell. I am a realtor here in the Nashville, Middle Tennessee area, and I'm here today with Rowland from Signature Title. We're talking all kinds of things about title companies and title insurance and closings and fun stuff. Tell us a little bit about what you have seen that makes different title companies different.
Yeah, so I think a lot of it, I've been doing this for about 15 years. I've been with Signature for about 8 years, a little over 8 years. And I do think that we are superior because of some of the systems that we have, but I understand that that's difficult for smaller companies to do. So I think it's really important that you have a layer of attorney involvement, so that you have some legal counsel, people you can go to for that kind of thing. But I think a lot of it just boils down to systems and processes. At Signature Title, our systems are there's a lot of layers to it. So we have 2 in-house title searchers, and they're people that we can count on all the time to get things back quickly, to be very in-depth. But once it leaves that person, it goes to a typist who is also reviewing it, looking at it, and filling everything in. And then we have an attorney review it. That's where a lot of people miss the mark. Is it's typed up by just a person that can type well, and then it just may not get that other layer of review from a professional, from an attorney that can really see, okay, this needs to be done or that needs to be done. So I think attorney involvement to some extent is very important. I also think that experience is really important. It's hard, no matter how long you've been doing it, it's hard. You're always going to find surprises. But at this point in the game, there's not a lot of things that are just going to totally throw us off course because we have been doing this so long. So yeah, I think there's a couple of variables there, but those are 2 things that are really important.
So on the attorney side, do not all title companies have to have attorneys involved?
They do not have to. You have to have a licensed title agent. Most title companies have an attorney that they work with or are owned by, but that's not a requirement. So sometimes that is a missing link, or maybe they have an attorney that is a partial owner but isn't involved day to day, and that day-to-day involvement is what is so important. I can pick up the phone. We have 3 attorneys on staff, so I can pick up a phone and call any of these 3 attorneys anytime to answer a question. And I think that's what's really, really important.
Yeah, because there are a lot of legal issues that come up.
I just have a second opinion,
Yeah. And even if title companies are owned by attorneys or have attorneys involved, or even if attorneys do the closing, a lot of times the first time they've really seen the file is when they sit down to have people sign, correct?
Right, that is correct, yeah. So I think having that day-to-day involvement and review of things is probably the most important layer.
Yeah, I would agree. So one of the things, let's talk a little bit about when people are out of town. Some people have selling their homes, they've already moved for job purposes or whatever. Sometimes buyers forget. I've had this happen where they said they could close on a day and they decided that they went on vacation. It's like, what are you doing in Texas? How'd you get there? So there's something called a mail away closing that if we have enough notice, we can make that happen. So let's talk a little bit about what that process looks like if people are not physically here to show up at an office to do a closing or meet with somebody locally.
Yeah, so when a customer's not in town, we have 2 options. One is a power of attorney. So if you have someone here, and you have to do that not up front, but a little bit
not the day before
day, you can appoint someone to be your power of attorney, and we can work with you on that to get a power of attorney set up and signed and recorded. So we can do it that way, but another way is what you're referring to as a mail away closing. So there's a couple of ways to do that, just depending on a person's prior knowledge to a transaction. We have some people who close a lot, and I can just email them documents. They can print and sign in front of a notary, and then we'll give them a prepaid UPS label to send that back to us. That's the easiest way, but we also understand that not everyone does this every day. So if you are out of town, we can sign a mobile notary in your area. There are several services that we use that are all over the country.
Okay, so there's a little bit of extra information there for you about powers of attorney and closings, and we'll be back to talk about some other stuff.
We hope you enjoyed watching all things real estate and more, with Ann-Riley Caldwell. To learn more about Ann-Riley, or for your real estate needs, visit notyourordinaryagent.com or call 615-930-0313. Thanks for watching.